Welcome to another episode of Unlocking the Mind Behind Make More, Work Less. Hi, my name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock the potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Unlocking the Mind, we talk about another cognitive bias. And the reason why I do this show is so we can better understand how our minds work, make better decisions, make better negotiations, build better relationships, and sometimes avoid certain cognitive traps. So for today's cognitive bias, I'm going to ask you a scenario or a question. When you go and play a board game, do you go into that thinking, you know what, I'm going to lose. I'm not going to do very well. In fact, I'm not going to try very hard. Or do you go in there thinking, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to win this thing. I'm going to beat everybody in this game. Well, hopefully you're thinking I'm going to win, and you're thinking I'm going to beat everybody, and you're thinking that you're going to do the best that you can do. And that sometimes people think is an optimistic bias. And that is where a person believes that they themselves are less likely to experience any negativity in any event. And the thing is, when we focus on the positive, when we focus on the great things that the end results of what we're going to get is going to be good, we're usually more successful in getting it done. Because we're not going to be worrying about the what ifs. We're not worrying about all the negativity that comes in with that decision or that scenario. If we focus on the positivity, if we focus on the end result, that's what we want, then more than likely we will actually succeed in that event or that scenario. When we believe that no negativity will come towards us, we're going to go out there with our full force. We're going to go out there with great energy, and we're going to achieve great success. And that is optimistic bias. However, sometimes it may not be the best case scenario, because optimistic bias sometimes might prevent us from planning properly. It might stop us from assessing the risks that might come because we believe that we're invincible. So the thing is, when it comes to being optimistic, which is generally a very, very good thing. In fact, there's more positivity, more better results that come with optimistic bias than not. But we still need to sometimes take a step back and go, okay, am I assessing all the risks? Have I looked at all the scenarios? I'm going to go in this thinking I'm going to do well. I'm going to go in this thinking that I'm going to do my best and also win at whatever I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to let the negativity come in. However, am I able to assess all the scenarios before I jump into this? And when we do that, we're more likely than not to succeed. If you think of all the greats out there, all the best athletes, they're always thinking that they will win. And they will still put in the effort. They will still put in the practice time. They will still do the reps in order to solidify their chances of winning. But it's not going to stop their mindset of always thinking that they will win. They're not going to go into a race. They're not going to go into a ball game thinking they're going to lose. They're thinking they will win. The thing is, sometimes we forget that there's other people thinking the same thing. And that's where optimistic bias stops us from succeeding or stops us from preparing to our best ability. So optimistic bias is always usually good as long as you take that step back and assess all scenarios. There's usually 4 factors that come into play when we're being optimistic. Number 1 is that desired end result. We are so focused on what we actually really, really want that we forget all the other negativity and we go full force towards that thing. Number 2, it's our cognitive mechanism. We think back of what we've been able to do before, and we're going to go out there and go, hey, based on what's happened before, we can do this. So for instance, if you said that you are able to run a 10K with no problems 3-4 years ago, you might think, you know what, running 10K is not a problem, until you actually go out there and try and go, 3K is getting pretty hard. I think I'm going to have to settle for 6K. But still, you're optimistic, which is still fine. But that's usually how it causes us to be optimistic because of past scenarios. Number 3 is the information that we have. If all the information that we have is positive, if all the information that we have shows that it's going to work out well, then we're more likely than not going to take that step and become more and more optimistic on it. However, we need to sit there and kind of assess whether or not that information is biased or not, because we could actually get information that is biased towards one scenario. Make sure that you have all the information before you go attack that scenario. And then number 4, it's that overall mood. When you have high energy, when you are positive yourself, then you will be a more optimistic person. Generally, optimistic bias is good because we will succeed more. just take that step back and assess all scenarios before you go full force on it. So that is optimistic bias. If you like this episode, please go back and watch some of the other episodes on Unlocking the Mind. And if you like Unlocking the Mind, show your support and watch some of the Peak Potential Success Show, the Make More Mind Bites, the Mastermind Bites that goes up every single week. I love your support. I thank you for your support, and I love seeing your likes, your subscriptions, and also your comments. So thank you very much for that. Until next time, today is the day to unlock your peak potential. We'll see you later.